This is part 1 of The Utterly Perfect Murder by Ray Bradbury. In this story, this suggests that hurts inflicted in childhood can continue to haunt a person into adulthood until a person finds a way to come to terms with the past. It was such an utterly perfect, such an incredibly delightful idea for murder that I was half out of my mind all across America. The idea had come to me for some reason on my 48th birthday. Why it hadn't come to me when I was 30 or 40, I cannot say. Perhaps those were good years, and I sailed through them unaware of time and clocks and the gathering of frost at my temples or the look of the lion about my eyes. Anyway, on my 48th birthday, lying in bed that night beside my wife, with my children sleeping all through the other quiet moonlit rooms of my house, I thought, I will arise and go now and kill Ralph Underhill. Ralph Underhill, I cried. Who is he? 36 years later. Kill him? For what? Why, I thought, for what he did to me when I was 12. My wife woke an hour later hearing a noise. Doug, she called. What are you doing? Packing, I said, for a journey. Oh, she murmured, and rolled over and went to sleep. Board! All aboard! The porter's cries went down the train platform. The train shuddered and banged. See you, I cried, leaping up the steps. Some day, called my wife, I wish you'd fly. Fly, I thought, and spoil thinking about murder all across the plains? Spoil oiling the pistol and loading it and thinking of Ralph Underhill's face when I show up 36 years later to settle old scores? Fly? Why, I would rather pack cross-country on foot, pausing by night to build fires and fry my bile in sour spit and eat again my old, mummified but still living antagonisms, and touch those bruises which have never healed. Fly? The train moved. My wife was gone. I rode off into the past. Crossing Kansas the second night, we hit a butte of a thunderstorm. I stayed up until 4 in the morning, listening to the rave of winds and thunders. At the height of the storm, I saw my face, a dark-room negative print on the cold window glass, and thought, where's that fool going? To kill Ralph Underhill. Why? Because. Remember how he hit my arms? Bruises. I was covered with bruises, both arms. Dark blue, mottled black, strange yellow bruises. Hit and run, that was Ralph. Hit and run. And yet, you loved him? Yes, as boys love boys when boys are 8, 10, 12, and the world is innocent, and boys are evil beyond evil because they know not what they do, but do it anyway. So, on some secret level, I had to be hurt. We dear, fine friends needed each other. I to be hit, he to strike. My scars were the emblem and symbol of our love. What else makes you want to murder Ralph so late in time? The train whistle shrieked. Night country rolled by. And I recalled one spring when I came to school in a new tweed knicker suit, and Ralph knocking me down, rolling me in snow and fresh brown mud, and Ralph laughing and me going home, shame-faced, covered with slime, afraid of a beating, to put on fresh, dry clothes. Yes, and what else? Remember those toy clay statues you longed to collect from the Tarzan radio show? Statues of Tarzan and Kala the ape and Numa the lion for just 25 cents? Yes, yes, beautiful! Even now in memory, oh, the sound of the ape-man swinging through green jungles far away, ululating. But who had 25 cents in the middle of the Great Depression? No one. Except Ralph Underhill. And one day Ralph asked you if you wanted one of the statues. Wanted, you cried. Yes, yes! That was the same week your brother, in a strange seizure of love mixed with contempt, gave you his old but expensive baseball catcher's mitt. Well, said Ralph, I'll give you my extra Tarzan statue if you'll give me that catcher's mitt. Fool, I thought. The statue's worth 25 cents. The glove cost $2. No fair. Don't. But I raced back to Ralph's house with the glove and gave it to him, and he, smiling a worse contempt than my brother's, handed me the Tarzan statue, and bursting with joy, I ran home. My brother didn't find out about his catcher's mitt and the statue for 2 weeks. And when he did, he ditched me when we hiked out into farm country and left me lost because I was such a sap. Tarzan statues, baseball mitts, he cried. That's the last thing I ever give you. And somewhere on a country road, I just lay down and wept and wanted to die, but didn't know how to give up the final vomit that was my miserable ghost. The thunder murmured. The rain fell on the cold Pullman car windows. What else? Is that the list? No. One final thing, one more terrible than all the rest. In all the years you went to Ralph's house to toss up small bits of gravel on his 4th of July, 6 in the morning, fresh dewy window, or to call him forth for the arrival of dawn circuses in the cold, fresh, blue railroad stations of late July or late August, all those years, never once did Ralph run to your house. Never once in all the years did he, or anyone else, prove their friendship by coming by. The door never knocked. The window of your bedroom never faintly clattered and bellied with the high-tossed confetti of small dust and rocks. And you always knew that the day you stopped going to Ralph's house, calling up in the morn, that would be the day your friendship ended. You tested it once. You stayed away for a whole week. Ralph never called. It was as if you had died, and no one came to your funeral. When you saw Ralph at school, there was no surprise, no query, not even the faintest lint of curiosity to be picked off your coat. "Where were you, Doug? I need someone to beat." "Where you been, Doug? I got no one to pinch." Add all the sins up, but especially think on the last. He never came to my house. He never sang up my early morning bed or tossed a wedding rice of gravel on the clear panes to call me down to join summer days. And for this last thing, Ralph Underhill, I thought, sitting in the train at 4 in the morning as the storm faded and I found tears in my eyes, for this last and final thing, for that I shall kill you tomorrow night. Murder, I thought, after 36 years. Why, you're madder than Ahab. The train wailed. We ran cross-country like a mechanical Greek fate carried by a black metal Roman fury.